Hey everyone, welcome to the third episode of my Mega Park. What I want to do in this episode is I sort of want a hotel here right at the entrance, so the guests have a place to stay when they visit the resort. It will be really big, so they cannot possibly cover everything in one day. Something else I want to do is maybe also add a little building here, maybe a place where the guests can get something to eat or drink. Maybe a little building here for park information, so they can buy a map here and umbrellas. And when I have some time left, I will probably also make a simple station here for the monorail. And if after that I have more time, I can also connect the other monorail stations to the paths. Before I do that, I want to do something that I didn't get to do yesterday, and that's adding some extra supports to this wooden coaster. Because if we didn't, it probably would fall over if there was a bit too much wind. Right, I'm not gonna make it too fancy, just at the high points of the track I will just add some supports like this. This will help to make the coaster look a bit more, let's call it beefy. Yeah, this looks nice. Then the coaster actually passes through the support structure. I really like the way that that looks. Alright, I kinda like the way this looks. I'm not gonna add extra support on this side, just because there's already a path here, and it would get a bit messy probably. So yeah, I'll just leave them out on this side. I'm happy with the way it looks now. So maybe we could add a few here. Alright. Not really necessary, but I think it looks nice. Alright, then something else I didn't do last time. We have this station building here, and the roof now looks a bit hollow. It's something I forgot to do. So what I usually do is I take a roof like this, we disable clearance checks, and then on this roof we add this roof like this. We do the same here. And we do the same here, and then simply add a piece of wall, and we filled in this gap. So we can do the same on the other side, and we built a little wall piece here, and we're done. The station looks a little bit better, I think, the roof at least. Okay, I think I will start on the hotel here. The first thing I'll do is I'll just relay the path a bit, so we have a little bit more space for our hotel. And let's see if this works out. I'm gonna be improvising a bit here, and we'll see if the hotel will look nice. Alright, that's the hotel pretty much done. I might come back to it later just to redo the colors of it a bit. But I'm quite happy with the way the hotel looks. It's quite a simple building, really, nothing too fancy. Um, but yeah, I think I'll leave it at that for now. What I'll do now is I'll just quickly make a restaurant here, then here information building, and yeah, that'll be the next part of the video. Alright, I said I didn't want to make many detailed things in the park uh, to prevent running into the object limit, but that's actually quite difficult for me. But yeah, I made a little restaurant here, and I'm gonna do something funny here for the roof. So that's why I stopped the fast forwarding for now. So what I will do is I will actually use a headstall here. And let's copy and paste that piece a few times. I think I also showed how to do this in my first tutorial actually. So yeah, this is quite a throwback. But yeah, you can just copy and paste this and it will look cool. So yeah, if you don't have custom scenery available, this is just another way you can make roofs. I'll probably touch this up again a bit later. Actually, I'll do it now. So yeah, I will just move all these head shops up one by one. I just copied and pasted these head stalls so they just count as one shop, one ride. It's just another way to make sure we don't run out of rides to place. And I think here I will just add one layer of wood around it. Alright, like that. I think that's passable. Now I will just recolor the hats. Let's make them brown so they don't show up. And we'll probably need a sign for this restaurant. For now I will just call it restaurant. Or if anyone has a nice name for this restaurant, just let me know. And I might give it the name you guys choose. Alright, so now we have a hotel and a little restaurant here. I really need to recolor it, but I'll do that outside of the video. I don't want to bore you guys with that. And something I'll do here is add some of these conifer hedges. I really like placing those. If you want to know how to, I also made a tutorial on how to place these benches in sets of 4 here, with the guests being able to walk through them. It's really helpful if you want to make a nice and cozy restaurant. So yeah, if you want to do that, you should look up the tutorial on seating areas for your guests. Alright, that's it. And now I just want to make a little building with some information kiosks in them. I think I'll just make it a 2x2 building. Alright, and here we have a little park info building. One thing I like to do is to, at the ground level of buildings, use poles just so the guests can walk in easily. And between those poles, I like to put these canvas roofs, and that just makes it look like there's some decoration between the poles. There's some festive stuff. That works quite well. Now, the building is now still really a skeleton, but I will add some more buildings around here later. And then it will fit in more nicely. Alright, I'm not entirely sure what to do with this plaza yet. I might put a little fountain here in the middle, or just some bushes, trees, just to break it up a bit. It looks better than just having a full path here. Might make some benches around it. Yeah, we'll do it right now. One trick I really like to use is just to bury walls halfway. So yeah, that way they're like normal walls, but they're a bit into the ground, so they're lower. And yeah, there's some neat stuff you can do with that. Alright, I buried these trees a bit. That just makes them vary in height a bit. And I think it actually looks quite cool from different angles. I might change the trees out later, but for now I kinda like this. Alright, that's just some little buildings here. I will expand this area in a later episode. The last thing I want to do now is just to make the first monorail station. I don't really know exactly how I'm gonna make it, but just like the other buildings, I'm just gonna improvise for now. No, sadly there's a bug in the game. Well, not sure if it's really a bug, but if you rotate your entrance or exit, and then you actually replace a part of the ride, then your entrance and exit disappear. And since I expect that I will rebuild this monorail a few times as the park grows, I choose not to rotate my entrances or exits here. Because it's really annoying when they're inside a building and then they disappear. Especially when they're invisible and your queue path is invisible. So that's why I will just build a normal queue path here. Alright, that's the monorail station. Well, it's nothing too fancy. It's actually quite boxy. So yeah, there's one trick I like to use, which is to I put this wooden coaster track here, and then on top I put the wooden roof, the jungle roof. I like that trick because the side of the wooden track gives this nice pattern, which usually works well if you want to place a roof on top. I just put lots of trees around the monorail station. I really like burying these cedar trees. That usually gives a nice effect, especially in a jungle setting. So yeah, what did I do during this episode? Well, built the hotel, made a little restaurant here with the seating area for the guests, where they can eat their food and drink their drinks. I made this little building for park info. I also built this house next to it. Not sure what I'm gonna put in there yet. Probably gonna put some extra houses here. I didn't build the back side of the houses yet, because probably there's gonna be some houses right next to it. And then I think this area will be sort of complete. So yeah, I think that was enough building for this episode. I'm really eager to start on a ride again, so that's what I will do in the next episode. I will try not to make too many houses in this park, because these buildings take a lot of time to make, and I'd rather spend that time on making coasters or water rides or other rides. Oh yeah, and don't forget, I also placed these supports in the beginning of the episode. I think that actually makes the coaster look a lot nicer. Alright, that was it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again in the next one. See you later.